welcome to Thunder Punk Radio. I am with my good buddy Scott. I had to double check there. I wasn't sure if it was Scotty or Scott.
It's okay.
So we actually met a while ago.
Yeah, I would say, what?
A little over a year ago?
A little over a year ago.
Yeah. Down at a training facility in San Diego.
Yep.
Sweet. And you gave a demonstration of this super cool target stand.
Yeah, when it was still actually, I don't even think it was the final product yet. We were still in its infancy and working out all the kinks. And now, yeah, here we are.
But, well, first off, I should say, like, you call me Missing Link Tactical. Where did the name come from?
So when I first came out with the initial prototype of the stand, one of my buddies jokingly was like, "Man, I think you found a missing link in the tactical industry."
Hey.
And I was like, "Man, that's a catchy name."
That is a good name.
And it gives you room for growth, right? So yeah, that's how it came
It's
to
always
be.
like cool when you have like a personal name that like, oh, that's actually there's a story behind this.
Yeah.
And this makes sense. So okay, so let's talk about, like you said, how this came to be.
Yeah, no worries. So basically, my background, I did about 10 years in Naval Special Operations as an EOD tech. Worked with a lot of different people from NSW, SOF, law enforcement, you name it. And I came to find that the tactical industry as a whole has always been innovating around targets, optics, weaponry, you name it. However, target stands themselves have been the same for the last 50 years,
Right.
more or less, right? So, and at the end of the day, either they're not strong enough, and a small gust will knock them over,
Blowing over in the wind. Yeah.
or the exact opposite, where they're way too heavy and too cumbersome to where they're a pain to set up, move around.
If you're traveling, it's hard to transport
Correct.
them. You got to make sure they're already there. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so we were like, man, there's got to be an easier way. So this is our patent pending design right here that took about 2 years in the making to test. We fielded it to law enforcement, military of all backgrounds, recreational shooters, competition shooters, and told them literally put this through the ringer, tell us what its deficiencies are so we can make it better to where everybody in the shooting community has a way to train efficiently. And so at the end of the day, this is the design we ended up coming up with. And I actually want to pass it over to two of the guys that have been instrumental in making this all possible with the R&D and everything like that.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll bring them on. Cool. All right, Pierre. Dude, Pierre, I love that name.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate
Where
it,
did it
man.
come from? Why'd you parents name Pierre?
I think my mom wanted me to have something unique, so she gave me that name,
That
and I
works.
think she hit the bill 1,000%.
That
Yes,
works, man. Okay, so also EOD guy, but Marine EOD.
absolutely.
Cool. How'd you
absolutely.
get involved in this?
Well, I got involved in this because Scott and I are both EOD together. We have that background, and we both have the passion for service and upgrading the type of training environment that we've been in. And so what we did is over the last 2 years is just constantly upgrade our model for this stand. As we know that when we go to the range, some of the biggest portions that we lose training value on is when we first come to the range. There's a large time to actually set up. During the range, there is a lot of time lost during transition, and when we end the range, there is a lot of time lost, as we clean up and exit the range. So if we could do something, for our service and for our Leo brothers back and forth to make sure that we can collapse those time frames, then we have much more time.
More training time.
Absolutely,
more trigger time.
right?
Yep.
More training time. So we took the time to run it through the ringer and put it through all of its proper paces so that we could come out with simplicity, modularity, and versatility.
Hey,
right?
there we go.
So we like that.
Yeah.
So 18 pounds, nice carrying handle. And then we can just let that in the back of the truck, a van, or if you're in your mom's Corolla, you just want to go out to BLM and shoot a little bit.
There you go.
You can take that with you as well. Throw it in the back of the vehicle. It's all packaged and ready to go. And once we arrive on site, that's when the magic begins to occur, right? We take this strap off right here, unfold the legs. That 18 pounds get distributed over the next 36 inches, and we have a nice, strong, sturdy base here.
And this looks like it's not going to get blown
Oh,
over.
no. Oh, no.
All
You
right.
can shoot this. You can get into it several times over and over again. We haven't knocked it over one time.
Awesome.
And none of the reports for R&D out in the field has reported back that it's been knocked over either. So we really believe in our product. But some of the innovation comes in the quickness of it. So right off the gate, we have 1x2, 2x2, or 2x4, all that would be easily installed by unturning this little screw right here, sliding it back, slide that piece in there, bam. We're ready to go. And so after you have that activity 2 times, we're basically set up. Now we have our basic silhouette target if we want to shoot that shot. Or if you want to, we can put the two 2x4s in here where we can shoot the AR Steel 500 target, right? Ding, ding. Everybody like a little bit of sound on the range,
Steel makes you fast, paper makes you accurate.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so put that in there and make sure that we have the ability to transition between the two easily. Typically, if we were going to do that, right, if we were going to shoot paper and steel, that would be two separate ranges. Right?
Or a lot of like downtime and moving crap around and things falling over. Oh, did you get, shoot the chain broke? I gotta fix this and whatnot. Yeah, because I was wondering like, what's with the 2x4s? Like, I like that there's, you know, versatility and what, but I'm like, oh yeah.
So we can hang some steel. Okay.
That's awesome.
And so that's the beginning of the magic. But then
this is the cool part. I know what you're going to show me.
Absolutely.
This is the cool part.
And so we've got these hinges locked in here, and so that we allow ourselves the ability to go from one configuration to another configuration with the swipe of the leg, which changes the entire training dynamic, right? We all understand that there's a lot of things that can happen during the training paradigm that affects the outcome of training. Time on target, you know, for training, and also students gaming the game, right? With this system right here, you can change things up in between training evolutions, and student A won't know what student B did, and thereby everyone has a greater and more efficient training evolution. If we want to have more dimensionality in our training, right, we can start to then go off-center, right, and have that depth, so and we have those targets. Angles. Yes, absolutely.
Your friendly foe.
Yes. Shoot, non-shoot, friendly foe, and then we can also start to cut those angles however thin or however obtuse we want those angles to be, right? And so all of that gives more vitality and more breadth to our training cycles, right? And so typically if we're training, we don't have the ability to go through doors, go through the house and things of that nature. But if we just put this right here, just like that, now we have a non-intrusive situation where we can go right through a man-sized door. If we want to go even further in the conversation, bam, we do it like that. That's 9 inches wide. Now we're behind the door. So we have all of those added avenues and venues for training. So we estimate about 25, but we think that we underestimated because as we've been going through with the professionals that's out there, they've been showing us about our own product. So now we're learning that the product limitations exist with the owner, right? And so when we, right?
No, I'm just loving this, man.
Yes.
When we're done, I want to see your pocket thesauruses too, because you're just like busting out those vocabulary. I love it.
So it lies with the owner. So what we promise is versatility, we promise simplicity, we promise modularity, and we promise that this thing is going to last for however many shots that you can put in it until it goes bad, right?
Well, I mean, it looks heavy duty.
Absolutely.
The welds look good on it.
Absolutely.
I love that you like sent it out to the field first, like, hey, break this.
Yes.
Tell us what's wrong with it.
Yes.
Tell us what's great about
Yes.
it. You know what I mean? Before you started marketing it.
Absolutely.
I mean, and he didn't even give me the full demonstration when I saw we had brought in a bunch of civilians to run through like an experience, so to speak. Takes weeks to learn them out. We had 2 days to teach a bunch of people this. But yeah, he showed us this, and I thought it was innovative. So it was really great that I was able to run. I was walking by like, wait, I know that guy.
Yes,
what's this? And honestly, your logo and everything also drew me in because it's interesting.
Yes.
So I'm like, all right, what is this? And I see a bunch of dudes that look like me. I'm like, okay,
right,
all right, I got to talk to these guys.
Absolutely. So. And you got the Army experience and background, right? You know how much time is.
Well, and as an instructor, teaching civilian, teaching law enforcement. You know, so this is something that, and I'm actually going to be setting up a range in Nashville. So this is definitely something that I think would be very beneficial. And if you're a traveling instructor as well, you can you can fit 5 of these in the back of your SUV or truck. And like, you know, that way you don't have to rely on stuff being at the range. Like if it's there, great. But like, let's you know, take out the external. You're the vocabulary guy.
What?
The external factors, the outliers.
Absolutely. You know? No, we understand.
Stuff happens. You show up and like, hey, where are the targets?
Absolutely.
Oh, well, I have them in the back of my truck.
Absolutely. Reducing we all showed up to that shoot house with the shed, right? It's got the big round metal trash cans in there. It's got one full of PVC, one full of 2x4s, and then there's adhesive plastered everywhere where no one cared about it because it wasn't theirs.
Or you got the staple gun but no staple. All this
peanut, no jelly.
And you know, the other thing too is like half my audience is like people like us, a lot of experience, whatnot. But actually, more than half is people that are brand new to this sort of thing. And so I'm a big proponent of take your friends to the range.
Okay.
If every person took their friend to the range, it was safe and had fun. Gun control or firearms restriction would be moot in 2 years, less than that. You know what I mean? And so if they had 1 or 2 targets like this, you have a buddy with a farm, you have someone with a good, safe backdrop, know your target and what's beyond it. So for a civilian, I think just having 2 of these just for your family or to take friends shooting, you know, start out with a blue gun, but then when they're ready, you know,
move it up.
This seems great because you could throw it in your basement, throw it in your rec room, throw it in your attic, and then you just have something available.
Of course. So, of course, training doesn't just constitute live fire, right? If you want to do dry fire, you still may need a target. Also, in California, we go to BLM land, and we shoot there all the time, right?
One of the things I miss most about is the BLM land.
Absolutely. So we take this thing out to BLM land, and that gives us the opportunity to go right out there, set up, train efficiently, take everything with us, and leave the environment how we found it, right?
Awesome.
No harm, no foul.
So how can people find out more about this?
Well, you can reach us on missinglinktactical.com or on Instagram at missinglinktactical, Facebook, Missing Link Tactical, Missing Link Tactical everywhere.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot, man. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much for your time, brother. Absolutely.
Hey, folks, would love to hear your thoughts on this. Of course, I got to say this. If you like the video, please like it. We'd really appreciate a subscribe. Share the video if you know someone that this might benefit. Don't do any of that if you didn't like the video. But more importantly than anything, make sure you do your push-ups today.
Absolutely.
So, all right. Thanks, folks. Have a wonderful day.